Finding domain of rational functions. So the word domain um, tells you that you're looking for the possible x values that you can input into any given function. So some functions have restricted domains. Those are rationals. Um, some other ones we're just going to focus on rational functions. So essentially fractions. So a fraction, one of the big rules for fractions is you cannot divide by 0. So the denominator cannot equal 0. That's what makes a fraction undefined. So what you do here, whenever you get a problem like this, is you take whatever your denominator is, you set it equal to 0, and then you solve for x, whatever variable you have. So for this problem, find the domain of the rational function c of x equals x minus 9 divided by x squared minus 9. We are only focusing, because it's asking for domain, on the denominator. X squared minus 9 equals 0. That's a difference of 2 squares, so this has to be factored. Not every question you get is going to have to be factored. So here we get x plus 3 times x minus 3. This is the zero product property, so this is going to split up. X plus 3 is going to equal 0. And then we have x minus 3 equals 0. So when we solve these, we get two answers. Negative 3 and positive 3. When we write multiple answers, the symbol that we use is this little squiggle bracket. So that's how you'd write two answers. So there are two x values that will not work. Will not work. So if they're not going to work, we cannot use an equal sign. We have to say it is not equal to 0. So the denominator is not equal to 0, which means all of these equations should not be equal to those numbers. So x is not equal to negative 3 or positive 3. All the work is the same. It's just that extra notation there that you have to pay attention to. So let's say you have another example. And the fraction is x plus 3 over 5. The work we do is the same. We take our denominator, we set it equal to 0 or not equal to 0. This is actually a true statement. 5 is not equal to 0. There is no variable. So if there's no variable, you cannot solve for the variable. So that means there are no undefined values. It's not going to be undefined ever. So the domain, if it's never going to be undefined, that means technically you can use all real numbers. You can use any number you want to plug in to a problem like that. So you will see problems where the denominator has no variables. That's how you do it. If it does have a variable, you just set it to 0 and figure out what x cannot be.